Harihi, Harihi Om Tassat, Harihi Om Tassat, Jai Guru. Today I thought I will share with you a subject and some thoughts pertaining to the subject that are occupying my mind. From yesterday I started writing a presentation to be given to the tribunal in Bangalore. It is about the income tax matter. Our Narayanashrama Tapovanam is a public charitable educational trust. What we do is all educational. We only speak, we only write. What shall we write and speak? Anything that one speaks is knowledge. Equally so, whatever one writes is knowledge. People come to us to listen to us. They may sometimes have enquiries. The enquiries are listened to and answered, and clarity sought to be given. So, is there any interaction we do which is other than knowledge? Now, such a knowledge institution as we are, meant only to impart knowledge to the people, and that too about the prehistoric culture, cultural values, presentation, etc. How can we be called religious? Because religion may have any kind of a definition, but by and large it means that a system of morality and ethics which is based on the concept of God. This God himself is invisible. No religion will say God is visible. Every religion will say God is omnipresent. If God is omnipresent, can he be visible? We have something similar to God, sky and space. Does it have a form? Does it have a mouth? Does it have hands and feet? So our Commissioner of Income Tax has said that Bhagavad Gita is a song of God. I am surprised that Bhagavad Gita is actually not a song. It was a conversation and a dialogue. Vyasadeva rendered it into poetry. Poetry is not song. Poetry is governed by its own meter. You can say it is 25% musical, you can say. But it has got all kinds of meter. In Bhagavad Gita, mostly the meter is called 8-letter line. Anushtup it is called. Others also are some there. It is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Which Krishna? The Krishna who was born of Devaki and bred by Yashoda. He had his training, learning under Sandipani Maharshi. In his dialogue, he has quoted from the Upanishads, referred to Brahma Sutras, also referred to the Vedas. It was not all knowledge produced by Krishna. Krishna has only reproduced the knowledge which was already available in the land. He quotes knowers of truth who are experts in ratiocinating, in introspecting over truth and untruth, the difference between the two. This is a dialogue. And this dialogue was delivered in the battlefield of Kurukshetra after both armies raised their war cries and the discharge of arrows was about to begin. About to begin. Because Arjuna wanted to examine the army and decide upon his strategy, he asked Krishna to take the chariot and stop it in a suitable point. Krishna stopped it in front of Bhishma and Drona to make Arjuna think whether he was competent enough to fight the war where his own grandfather and teacher, from whom he has learned all the archery, is he confident enough, bold enough, ready enough, prepared enough, enlightened enough to fight his own teacher using the skill he has acquired from him. Krishna wanted him to think about all these matters, so he stopped the chariot there. Because Arjuna was an illustrious fighter, when he was engaged in a conversation with Krishna, the discharge of arrows was not taken up. Everybody kept quiet until the dialogue was over. After that, it began. There was one more episode. Yudhishthira straight went to the opposite camp, keeping his bow and arrow down. So Arjuna felt that he is going to surrender before the opponents. So he pulled his hand. Krishna said, no, he will not do anything nonsensical, leave him. Yudhishthira went and prostrated before Bhishma, Drona, Kripa and the others, seeking their blessings. Bhishma said, I am very happy that you have come. If you had not come, I would have cursed you. Because you have come, and what did he say? Please give me permission as well as blessings to fight and win. Bhishma said, ask for anything you want, but not fighting on your side. And the words of Bhishma are, Pritoham putra yudhyasva jayam apnuhi pandava. I am very pleased, very happy with you. Fight and win. After that, the war began. That is, the discharge of arrows began. How can there be a religious discussion there? The discussion was whether he should fight and kill the people or not. So it was a war dialogue. And repeatedly Krishna, he continues it to say in the 11th chapter also, Yudhyasva jetasi rene sapatnan. Fight and win over your enemies. So it was an exhortation to fight, 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 fight. Can there be a religion which only tells you to fight? Did Arjuna have any time to practice any religion? Nothing. So it is not a religious gospel at all. Supreme Court has given a judgment in 1996 where it has considered the nature of the Hindu religion. Ultimately, after examining it, quoting different authors including Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, who was once our President of India, they said, we are not able to find anything to call Hinduism a religion. At best, it is a way of life. This is 1996. So I have quoted this statement and said, now it should stop all kinds of discussions and considerations as to whether Hinduism is a religion at all or not. Then when Supreme Court has pronounced a judgment, and unless Supreme Court itself pronounces another judgment, invalidating or overpowering what it has said, that becomes the law of the land. And no citizen has got the power or right to disregard it. It becomes like any other law. This is what I understand. He says, Bhagavad Gita is a song of God. I say, it is not. It is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. God is invisible and He is omnipresent. Can the omnipresent God be ever born? I am asking you. Can the omnipresent God be ever born? Born from where? So to be born, you must have a source for your birth. And you, the outcome. Both should be there. Omnipresence will allow such two entities? So where is the question of God being born? In Vishnu Purana, there is a shloka. Parashara Maharshi tells Maitreya Maharshi. What is that? There are 6 items which together make a composite. This composite is called Bhaga, B-H-A-G-A. Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasashriyah jnana vairagyayoschaiva shannam bhaga idirana. Full prosperity, sufficient righteousness, fame, then gracefulness in full measure, spiritual wisdom and dispassion. These are the 4 items which together constitute Bhaga. Whoever has it is a Bhagavan. Krishna had it, Sri Rama had it, some others also had it. A man who feels I am full and I don't need anything. Whatever I have, when you have prosperity, what do you get? You are full of contentment. When you become famous, what are you getting? Contentment. From anything whatsoever. From marriage, birth of children, victory, promotion, reward, Nobel Prize. You get only contentment. So a person who is floating in contentment automatically will have all this. He will become famous. Everything will be there. So such a person is called Bhagavan. So my contention is that Gita is a dialogue provided by such a person, Krishna. And whoever reads Gita, he will also become a Bhagavan. Krishna says, many people following me have become like me. Bahavo jnana tapasa puda madbhava magataha. He is using the present sentence. Have you understood the point? It is said by one who has the 6 qualities, and it will make one who follows it also a similar Bhagavan. That is why it is called Bhagavad Gita. This is my contention. Now, our IAS Association recently in their annual general meeting, Pankaj sent me the paper. Economic Times has reported it. The IAS officers, the association, has made 2 decisions. They were called an IAS body, ICS body, Indian Civil Service. It is a colonial expression. They have completely cancelled it and they are calling it IAS Association. Not ICS, IAS Association. It seems they have 5,000 members. The administrative service is the one system by virtue of which our nation has got a uniform administrative pattern. These IAS officers are given to, deputed to different states. Recruitment is central. Training also is central. And central team is taken from anywhere in the country. Anybody can be deputed to the center, taken to center, and ultimately the chief secretary, etc. are from this basic group. So, we have got in our government 2 wings. One is the elected ministers. They are not static. They are changeable. But we have the static team called the selected IAS officers. That is how our country's administration remains stable. If ministers alone were there, there would be nothing called stability in the administration. Am I clear? Huh? Now this IAS body is only one. And that body has said, we have changed our name to IAS Association. They had a motto, Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. But that motto, there is no record as to when it was accepted, who picked it up, who approved it, but they were following. So in the annual general meeting, they said that it is a motto taken from the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we have accepted it. So if the IAS team has accepted this motto from Bhagavad Gita, can it be religious? We are a secular country. And this commissioners also they are coming ultimately under the finance department and the secretary of the finance department and the minister. Am I clear? Huh? Yes. Is it right? Yes. So how can he say that Bhagavad Gita is a religious text? When we got independence, I am speaking from my memory, partly from information told me by my brother. When we were about to get independent, we were looking for a motto for the nation. That was the time when Mahatma Gandhi was there, who was himself a follower of Bhagavad Gita. Then Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, a very erudite person, was there. Then Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. All these luminaries were there and they were looking for a motto. They ultimately hit upon Satyameva Jayate. This motto is part of a line of the Mundakopanishad. Mundakopanishad is Vedas and Vedic Upanishad. So they have quoted it. Even now the motto continues. A nation which stands by the motto Satyameva Jayade, can you call it religious? Then can the secular country have that kind of a motto from the Upanishads? So what the Upanishads discuss is nothing but wisdom. What wisdom? Wisdom pertaining to the subjective part of everything. It does not discuss the body, it is left for medicine. It discusses the mind, intelligence, ego, and the source of all these. How they are mutually connected, what is their source, what is the measure and magnitude, what are the potentials of the mind, potentials of the intelligence, how they can be harnessed. Our scriptures or scriptural compositions, especially epics, discuss only three elements. One is character, another is behavior, the third is interaction. When these three are covered, everything about values are over, about life and world. What are you made up of? What is your inner character? It is invisible. When it becomes evident, it becomes behavior. And how do you interact with the world and the society around? These are the three questions. Our scriptures have their value and relevance only insofar as they discuss these three. Such a discussion, can it be religious or is it human and secular? Huh? We are speaking of Vishnu Sahasranama he has referred to. I say in Sanskrit, every word has got its derivation. What is the derivation? The word Vishnu is derived from the root Vish. It means to pervade. So what is pervading the whole creation? Pervading earth, solid earth, fluid water, gaseous air, then brilliant and hot fire, and finally the material space. The word Vishnu, it does not mean a god. Vishnu is a presence, a prevalence, which is pervading all the Panchabhutas which constitute the visible creation. Now we have made 1000 names of Vishnu. All these names are human coinage. We have made the names. In the 1000 names put together, you will find all complex pronunciations in the language. A person who is chanting this, what does it mean chanting? Producing the letters from the mouth. आप सुनते हैं क्या? हाँ? कोई ये शब्द मुंह से निकालने के लिए काम कहाँ होता है? हाथ में होता है, पैर में होता है, कहाँ होता है? So to touch the mind, there is only one way to produce a sound. You select the word, you select the letters, you select the sentences and ask your mouth to produce it. So that production should start from the brain and it is transmitted to the vocal system. Then it comes from the nabhi here, then it goes to hrit, the heart, then it goes to the kantha, then it goes to the tongue, the palate, the lip and the nose. All these places are touched and then the sound comes. So to touch your mind and intelligence, there is no scientific way at all. It is to use the sound. So by uttering 1000 names of Vishnu Sahasranama, can you tell me how much of mento-intellectual subtle vibrations should take place? So by doing it, you involve the mind, touch the mind, purify the mind, sublimate the mind, sharpen and make the intelligence more perceptive. This is the purpose. Any action you may do, it is to be judged by the effect it produces, not by the visible nature of the action. Similarly, anybody may have said anything. If what he has said is going to be of use and value to you, we judge it by its effect, that effect it produces. What is the effect Bhagavad Gita produces? All the effects that the Bhagavad Gita produces is by and large mento-intellectual. It presents before you. Western psychologists are amazed by the psycho-intellectual dimensions which Bhagavad Gita presents, propounds and explains. I just wanted to tell you. Hari Om Tassat.